AAK is so good at solving the difficult and miscellaneous problems of hygienic valves. What does it rely on? Someone asked my boss, Kevin. You're not a mechanical professional. How can you guide AAK engineers to solve some difficult and complicated problems of hygienic valves? Today, I'd like to share his reply here. Now, the hygienic valve industry has entered the stage of vertical specialization. Unprofessional may be a problem. Although specialization is the standard way to professional knowledge, it may not be a good thing from the perspective of creativity, because sometimes professional knowledge is a double-edged sword. If you are too professional in hygienic valves and have too much professional knowledge of hygienic valves, you may not notice those distant associations. I have always insisted that the solution to the problem is to cast a big net first. Sitting next to the computer at 4:30 in the morning, I have 3 hours of association and quiet time. This is the darkness that doesn't belong to anyone. People usually wake up at 7:30. I have enough calm and patience to associate with the hygienic valves and daydream at will. To do something creative, many people say that we should jump out of the box and think. But I think we should do the opposite and learn to think in the box. I often advise my engineers not to create the function of hygienic valves by imagination, but to innovate on a certain basis of hygienic valves. 10 years ago, we bought some representative hygienic valve standard parts and some novel non-standard hygienic valves from the top 10 hygienic valve manufacturers in the world from the United States and Europe. Comprehensively dissected these big brand hygienic valves, refined the selling points of technical parameters, and then innovated on this basis. Only then did we have 3 domestic patents and processes and 4 proprietary technologies of AAK hygienic valves. And AAK hygienic valves were exported to more than 20 countries. 6 international first-line brand customers have placed orders with AAK for 5 consecutive years. And the rebuy rate of AAK hygienic valves from older customers is no less than 62% every year. What you think is right and what you can accept is basically wrong. What you think is wrong and what you cannot accept is basically right. I read about 30 pages of books that are not related to hygienic valves every day. In the process of reading, I set aside a little time for daydreaming. For example, an idea in the book aroused my curiosity. I need to pause to collect my brain with this curiosity. Sometimes my brain will unconsciously link to the hygienic valves. Every coin has 2 sides, depending on the angle we look at. For half a glass of water, what some people say is, there is only half a glass of water left. What some people say is, whoa, still have half a glass of water. Pessimists are often right. I admire the pessimists' comments on the world. Really, they are right, but most of them are losers. Simple-minded optimists may not succeed, but they often live a good life. When I encountered the problem of hygienic valves and couldn't find the answer, after thinking hard, I found that sitting at my desk was almost a waste of time. Write out the hygienic valve problem and note it in a computer document, preferably on paper. Many people don't write it out, but trapped the problem in their brain, which may not awaken the subconscious mind. Then I will stay away from this hygienic valve problem. Sometimes, when taking a bath or walking, the rudiment of the answer may come to mind. It's so wonderful. Turn off the music. Stay away from the mobile phone. Stay away from some distractions and let the brain unconsciously look for associates between different ideas. There may be surprises. Insist on getting up early, reading and exercising, because if you cannot persevere, you won't get anything. Those who haven't been engaged in the production of hygienic valves for more than 10 years can hardly have a comprehensive understanding of hygienic valves. Both enterprises and individuals should stick to their commitments to others, especially to themselves. I have low confidence in anything readily available, improvised and fast, but I believe in the power of stability, peace, and long-term flow. Still water runs long. Any hygienic valve manufacturer should be practical. I never believe that hygienic valve manufacturers who lack self-discipline and self-growth will have a beautiful future. For example, in life, talented people are easy to bring traffic, but cannot bring trust. The builder of self-discipline may not surprise people in a short time, but will gain long-term respect. This may be the cornerstone of trust. AAK hygienic valves, no trickery, only daily self-discipline construction.